Hello, my name is Brittany Hansen, and this is my final project for EDU 630, my online course critique. The course that I chose to critique is an edX massive open online course, which is founded by Harvard and MIT. I have provided their mission statement here. If you explore their website, they state that they plan to transform traditional education, they aim to reach a global community, and provide an overall high quality experience for the learner. The course I chose to enroll in was called Teaching Critical Thinking Through Art with the National Gallery of Art, which is located out of Washington, D.C. The lead instructor is Julie Carmine. She's a museum educator and coordinator of professional development, and we do see her in a series of videos throughout the course. It's described as a unique learning environment, which is focused on teaching educators how to integrate artful thinking routines within the classroom. So the primary audience is classroom teachers. It's stated on the website that the goal of this course and Artful Thinking is to promote open-ended discussion. There are guest speakers throughout, such as classroom teachers, but there are also researchers as well. I found that interaction was valued throughout the course. Even within the first unit, we were encouraged to take a survey and participate in a discussion board. And there were also some very helpful resources that were shared throughout every unit. In terms of technological requirements, some of the technology that we were required to use for this course was an innovative tool called IF that allows you to zoom in and explore each high definition work of art so we can get in really up close and see details that even we wouldn't be able to see if we were actually at the museum. I found this a really interesting experience. It was easy to use, it was user friendly, and it was embedded directly into the course. And we would take a look at an artwork such as this Kandinsky painting that we see here, and we would engage in a routine called See, Think, and Wonder. And we're given 1 minute to see the piece and maybe talk about certain specific aspects that we saw. And then we were encouraged to think about the piece and actually make sense of it and what's happening, what's going on. Hopefully at this point we get a little bit more information. And then we're asked to wonder about the piece and ask questions. And this can be done, we did this individually as students, and then we watched a group of students do this together, which was a really great experience. In terms of other technological requirements, they did have an entire section titled How Do I Engage with the Course Materials that was very thorough and discussed things like closed captioning or how to download PDFs or how to get to the website um, to do other things required of that course. So it's pretty straightforward. I found experiential learning theory very evident within the course. And experiential learning is usually affiliated with philosopher John Dewey's belief that the learner is actively involved within his or her own learning via experience or in-service learning and reflection. And I definitely see that through the engagement and the artful thinking routine that I just spoke about with the Kandinsky painting, See, Think, and Wonder. And this can also be connected to Dewey's belief that the aesthetic experience is a social activity for both the creator and the learner. In terms of best practices, the Butcher and Conrad text list on page 37 lists 10 best practices for online teaching. I saw 4 that stood out to me that aligned really well with this course, and that's that there was the supportive online course community. There was also posts that we were involved in that invited responses, questions, discussion, and reflection. All of the resources were in digital format. We were not required to go to a museum or follow a text. And there was also a set of explicit expectations for everyone in the course so that we knew how long every unit was supposed to take us. And it was in the format of sort of rubric, a timeline, which I thought was really beneficial to anyone enrolled in the course. Um, Another best practice that I've seen in my research is that you should try to promote learner engagement. And what I like about the 4 that I just spoke about is that all of them work together to kind of promote that learner engagement. Online course assessment tools. In my research, I found a variety of them, such as the indicators of engaged learning online, the universal design for learning. But what I chose to use to utilize as I was going through this course was the Quality Online Course Initiative. And as we can see here, I liked it because it was a checklist. I actually screenshotted these. This was a PDF that you can fill in and follow along as I was going through the course. And it's not set up like a grading scale per se, but I think it's just more of a guide or an assessment tool. Um, I liked that it was organized into pretty much three main components, which I think that they align well with the best practices in pedagogy that I discussed earlier. But I also liked, it says here in this quote that the primary mechanism by which online courses and programs have been evaluated is the evaluation of the initial course design, which is of course within this rubric. It's the first part one, instructional design. But I liked that there was also a large focus on part two is communication, interaction, and collaboration. And there's also part three has student evaluation and assessment too. In terms of concluding thoughts, I think that this was a very good experience for someone who's an aspiring online educator to go through and critique and actually use assessment tools that are grounded in pedagogy and best practice. But I do think it's important to keep in mind this was still a massive open online course, so I figured I would just include this as sort of an implication to this research. Evaluation of MOOCs has been a somewhat controversial topic, as there has been much discussion concerning the inapplicability of traditional educational metrics to a MOOC environment and a general acceptance of the low completion rates. Here you can find my reference list. Once again, my name is Brittany Hanson. Thank you so much for viewing my presentation, and please let me know if you have any questions.